So we have been watching some really big gains last couple of days for the stock price of Palantir. Now, Palantir is a software company. It was co-founded by Peter Thiel. It does and has done a lot of business with the government. So let's bring Doug Flynn in here for a moment from Flynn Zito Capital Management. It's getting attention, I think, because of what's going on at the government, and Elon Musk and DOGE and everything else. But at all-time high makes this like a $200 billion company right now, right?
Right.
It's always been this tech company with a little bit of secrecy, right, surrounding it. Tell us about Palantir and what you make of this, if anything, this run in the stock.
Well, they've always provided data analytics to governments and government agencies, mostly to the U.S., but also around the world. And about 2/3 of their U.S. revenue comes from the government. And so when you have the government itself trying to do more technology to root out wasteful spending, that plays right into Palantir doing well because it's their technology and their kind of analytics that would be used or could be used. And so that bodes well. There's some good outlook in earnings for Palantir. And what they're already doing with this enhancement is certainly something that, you know, Silicon Valley is getting more into this, and they're already at the forefront of it, which is why it's driven up as much as it has.
So it's the business here and kind of the way everything is interwoven, right? So Peter Thiel co-founded PayPal as well, and obviously Musk worked with him back then. I know they've had their ons and offs, so to speak, over the years, but, you know, I think they're aligned now, certainly aligned politically now. So what about that? People bring up conflicts of interest for Musk. He's working on DOGE. Palantir, to your point, might be working on analytics. I don't think we really know exactly what it's doing or if it's involved in that. What about those conflicts?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, there's conflicts in government all over the place. And so I think that, you know, it's one of those other things you have to work through. I don't think there's any conflict-free place in the government in some way, shape, or form, where they're trading in securities and then voting on it later, or whatever it is that they're doing. There's a lot of conflicts. At the end of the day, are they going to have software and hardware, for that matter, or whatever it is that they can use in the government to save money overall? Is it worthwhile investment in there? Who are also the other players? Are there other companies that can provide that? They could bid it out to contract, but if this is the leading company, then they're going to get most of the business. I'm sure they'll spread it around to, you know, avoid impropriety, but that's how it works. But you have to look at Palantir as a company as well. They've partnered up with Amazon Web Services. They have other parts that they do.
Right. And then the other, I think, real quick, the flip side of this is the technology world in general. Thiel may have been predisposed to do this, but so many of these others, we've talked about Mark Andreessen, the venture capitalist, and others that were Democrats, because of the way the previous administration had been treating Democrats, particularly with regulation and AI and other things. A lot of them now are supporters of the president and are kind of in Palantir or Thiel's and Elon Musk's camps. Interesting.
It is. I think that they're always looking at who's been affected, and at one point or another, both sides have been affected. So I think most people are for a better part of the way that we can do this, and this is one of the ways that they'll do it. There's a whole list of it. We can't. No one's been able to keep up with Trump with all that he's doing, and this is just one other thing they're going to try to get through to work through and try to save America money. And I think this is another way that they can do it. Palantir does have some good software. A lot of countries are using it, including this one to a large extent. There's more that they can do.
Speaking of keeping up with them, we're watching about to meet with Governor Newsom, so we're on that. Thank you, Doug, as always. Doug Flynn with us. So we'll talk about the